Yeah. Good. Now his blood will be.
Oh! Hey, it's Swack. You caught me in the middle of my Echoes of Wisdom has been out for about a year now. Wait, about a week now. And obviously, there's a bit of a new cooking mechanic, the smoothies. And I found something very, very interesting that I want to share about them. It may not seem like a lot, but I think it actually changes, like, everything about Zelda now. Maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic, but I actually think this is really important. As you can see, you can only use 2 items to make a smoothie. You can only use 2 ingredients, and it'll either make something good, or, you know, it'll end up making something kind of, oh my! Smoothies in Echoes of Wisdom work very similarly to how they work in No, this is mine. And to how they work in It's like Breath of the Wild! But in Echoes, you only have 2 slots. But the same point is gotten across. You can make environmental smoothies, such as well, that's not this one. This is a chill-proof smoothie for when you're in cold areas. There's a tough one, which is just for damage reduction. And then you can just make health ones. You get the idea. There's a broad range of effects that you can gain from making smoothies in Echoes of Wisdom, and there are even some new ones that weren't even in Breath of the Wild. Now, the reason I find this so important is not because they're just adding a Breath of the Wild mechanic into Echoes of Wisdom, although that is very cool to see in a 2D format. I think the more important thing to note is that, well, first, let me see if I can, no, I grabbed that to kill the rope. Never mind. The more interesting thing to me is that Echoes of Wisdom kind of did cooking better than Breath of the Wild. And that is for one simple reason. Smoothies. What the heck? Smoothies cost 10 rupees to make. Obviously, unlike in Breath of the Wild, where you could just cook it yourself. Free of charge, no government fee. You're a free man, you know? Now, some people may argue that that's a bad thing and that they want the freedom of being able to mix a smoothie without, you know, needing to pay for it. However, what is interesting about Echoes of Wisdom smoothie system is that it makes rupees valuable in a Zelda game. For years and years, there has been a big issue, especially in the 3D Zelda games, that rupees just mean nothing. I mean, sure, you could go to a store and get a potion or 2 with your rupees. You could fill up on arrows with your rupees. But you could just get hearts from the grass, or you could get arrows from the grass. Sure, you could buy the Tingle charts in Wind Waker with rupees. In Skyward Sword, you could buy adventure pouches. That was awesome. Skyward Sword actually handled rupees pretty well. Ocarina of Time, though, Majora's Mask, I guess you could get a Hylian shield once. Yeah, then some replenishable stuff at stores. You could buy bombs for 80 rupees, or you could just go outside and, you know, cut the grass. And in Breath of the Wild, rupees kind of mattered, but you got the majority of them from selling things. And while you can sell things in Echoes of Wisdom, it's not as encouraged as in Breath of the Wild. So yeah, okay, we understand the difference, but why on earth is needing to pay for your smoothie? Why does that make rupees more valuable? Well, there's nothing in it. It means that now, every red rupee, dang it, that's not a red. Every red rupee equals 2 smoothies. Every purple rupee equals 5 smoothies. Every silver rupee equals 10 smoothies. What did 10 rupees equal in Ocarina of Time? Maybe some Deku seeds. Maybe half of a Deku stick. How about in Majora's Mask? I guess you could add them to your bank and then eventually get a piece of heart once you got 1,000 of them, which was pretty cool. I think 1,000, but you know, that was about it. And then in Wind Waker, there's nothing to spend money on. Sure, you can get bait, and yeah, that's all you need in that game. But in Echoes of Wisdom, every rupee counts now, because you can only get environmental effects from smoothies. Now, you may be saying, there are other Zelda games that did this too, it really isn't that big a deal, but here is the kicker for me. If you play Echoes of Wisdom in hero mode, you do not pick up hearts. Ow. And since hearts don't appear, smoothies, other than, I don't know, a bed, is your only form of healing. Ow! Meaning that every single time you get a rupee, for example, heck yeah, it worked! Wait, how did I miss that? I just beat the game! Every single rupee is healing. This is kind of similar to how, well, I don't know, Skyward Sword's hero mode worked. Because similarly, no recovery hearts would drop, meaning you'd need to use an empty bottle and a red potion if you want to do anything without getting murdered. That encouraged resource management in a Zelda game, which is not very common and works as a really good challenge. Heck yeah, baby! And it's that same resource management that is made so much better by Echoes of Wisdom, because they took Breath of the Wild's cooking format and then put it into a 2D Zelda game with a hero mode, so that now every rupee you find feels more meaningful, because that rupee could be 5 hearts. That rupee could be a red potion or a purple potion or a blue potion, meaning that now rupees are not something you just stockpile and gain with no purpose. Now, if you're playing in hero mode especially, your wallet is almost never getting full because you're buying electro apples, radiant butter, and if you're lazy, red potion. Now, what this meant for me is that my wallet constantly went from 400 rupees to 600 rupees to 200 rupees, instead of sitting on a maxed out wallet like in Ocarina of Time, or rolling my eyes whenever I get a rupee in a dungeon chest. Because now, I'm actually kind of hurting for rupees, because not only do I want to get more smoothies, I want red potions, maybe I want an energy potion, maybe I want one of the new accessories you can buy in stores with a exorbitant amount of rupees. Obviously, this is not a universal experience. Everyone spends their rupees differently in Zelda games, but I realized I just don't spend them because I don't need to. But Echoes of Wisdom, in adding hero mode and just smoothies in general, gave me a reason to spend rupees again. Breath of the Wild, for its wonderful cooking system, didn't cost you anything whenever you made a dish. In fact, in Breath of the Wild, if you were to open a chest and find, say, 20 rupees, that would stink, because you can sell your, like, monster fangs that you just found for like a gajillion rupees. But now, when you enter a little cave and you find a purple, dang it! If you can't tell, I may have already scoured the whole land for rupees. Now, it just makes you happier, because you know what you're gonna use it for, and you know you need it. Maybe it's a subjective thing. Maybe this makes no sense at all, but for my playthrough, I found myself actually kind of happy to get rupees again, because they meant more than an arbitrary number to rack up for doing some kind of menial challenge. Now, I enjoyed finding the chest, and in the chest is the thing that makes me lets me make these. Now I can drink seahorses. I can drink censorship. Not only that, butter smoothie? I think you see how crazy cool this is now. But yeah, that's about my point. Look forward to tons of more Echoes of Wisdom content coming soon as I actually start professionally writing these instead of jabbering. I'd be interested to hear what you think about rupees and their usages across the series in the comments. Just, you know, be civil. However, this is the Zelda fandom, so I will take what I can get. Anyway, continue enjoying Echoes of Wisdom. No, Burden, go!